Hello everybody, this is TWalker13, aka Tanner. This is my second video in a series I'm doing specifically aimed at players of tabletop RPGs. So today's video is going to be about kind of a hard topic to, explain and to really grasp. It's the difference between skipping over important information and getting bogged down in useless trivial facts. So that's what we're going to try to explore today. I'm going to do the best that I can. Any comments you have afterwards, suggestions would be great. So here we go. We're going to just get right into it. First main thing is I notice a lot of parties, they'll get into a town and they won't know what to do. They'll have no idea. One guy will want to go off this way, the other guy will want to go off another way, they'll fight for a while. This tends to bog the game down. What I like to do to kind of remedy this is you either have a vote system, where right at that point you take a vote, and majority wins. That system's alright. What I like a lot better is the party leader system, the monarchy of the party. I like this because, not all of your players are level-headed. You know it. We all know it. You got one or two players who, will throw a curveball at you every once in a while and do something you completely just did not expect. Totally wrong, totally in the wrong direction, really bad, suicidal, stuff like that. So I like the party leader, at least for my players, because the party leader should be the most level-headed of the group. And the most level-headed of the group should be able to think through the situation, prioritize what they should and should not be doing, and be able to direct the party from there. So I guess, now, pertaining to getting bogged down in information and skipping over important information, the party leader, should be able to determine the objective. Alright? Now this is one of the most important points for, skipping over or getting bogged down. Because if your party does not have an objective, or a main objective, something they're really focusing on, then, what are they doing? They're wandering around town, hoping that some random, tavern keeper will say, "Oh, I heard this interesting information." Ooh, that's not role playing. That's the DM feeding you stuff. You wanna role play. You wanna get in the game. So I like the party leader. Gets that main objective down there. Say, we are looking for this. This just happened to us, so we need to find X information. All right. Now, your next step. Learn what you can about the objective. Now this is a lot easier stated than done. Where? Alright, that's a good point. Where do I search for information? And it's right there in front of you. Search in the most logical place. Alright? You're trying to find information on strange runic markings, Don't ask the bum in the alleyway. I mean, most likely he won't know. I mean, if you have information saying that the bum in the alleyway is also some great sorcerer, ask him. But if you don't have that information, you have no reason to ask him. You get what I'm saying. Anyway, so learn what you can about the objective. I'm going to come back to that in a second. But another thing, don't try to preempt the DM. This is a big thing. This will help you a lot, alright? So, I've encountered this multiple times. I will create a situation, the players are supposed to gather information from certain places, but what do they try to do? They try to preempt my thinking, try to get ahead. That doesn't work. Let me give you an example to better explain myself. So say there's a mystery surrounding the disappearance of an entire town. Now this is the wrong way to go about it. The wrong way is to think to yourself, I wonder if a magic staff did it. And then, of course, you spend the rest of that time, that session, searching for a magical staff. Okay, well, you don't know it's a magical staff. In fact, you know a thing other than that, and searching for a magical staff is kind of pointless when you don't know that it's a magical staff that caused the disappearance in the first place. I don't even know how they got that into their head. Okay. Anyway, so don't try to preempt the DM. Don't try to search for something or, assume that this is, whatever caused this to happen is something. You need to, actually get that in proof. If there's no proof or, even like pointing towards in the game, I mean, if you've never heard of a magical staff before in the game, most likely it's not going to be a magical staff, guys. So, so don't try to preempt the DM, alright? Also, wrong. Don't try to be too vague. Don't try to be too general. Don't say, I look for information, and expect that to be it. I've had players do that before. They tell me, I look for information, roll your dice. Okay, I got a high roll. What do I find? Well, where are you looking? Okay, are you looking just like around, like in your vicinity for information? Maybe for something, I don't know. You haven't told me. I don't know what you're looking for. I can't tell you if you found anything. I don't care if your roll is high. Say, the right way to go about it, you find where's the nearest person? What does he look like? Okay, I ask him, do you know anything about this? No. Do you know someone who might? No. All right, move on. A lot of players tend to get frustrated when they roll high roll and say I look for information, and then the DM denies them because, well, you didn't tell me where you were looking, or I mean, you didn't give me any information besides I look for information. Are you listening for information? Are you just looking around you? You don't know. All right. So, and also the DM doesn't know, which is the most important part. And another kind of point that gets mixed up in skipping over important information and getting bogged down in useless facts is being paranoid versus being cautious. Alright? Now before I get into this, I want to, say something right now. A DM will never create a situation where good role-playing and quick thinking will get you killed. I mean, hopefully. They shouldn't. If that happens, you've got a bad DM. The only thing that will get you killed is poor life choices and bad dice rolls. That's it. That's the only thing that should get you killed. Alright? If your whole group is acting stupid, and diving into a river when they know everything around them is going to freeze and they're going to suffocate and die, that's bad life choices. That's going to get you killed. If you just happen to have some really, really bad rolls in the fight, that can also get you killed. But, that's kind of that's what keeps the game exciting. But good role-playing and quick thinking will never get you killed. Alright? You won't die because, you were role-playing really well. That's just stupid. Alright? So, with that in mind, here's a few examples to kind of play out being cautious versus being paranoid. You walk into a bar, right? Normal bar, people sitting there, and you go, I want to check for traps. Okay. Why? Why would you check for traps? Alright. Now, you need a reason to be cautious. If you don't have a reason to be cautious, you're being paranoid. Alright? If it's just a normal bar, there's no reason to check for traps. There's no reason to, search every nook and cranny for, hidden gold unless you have a reason why it might be there, alright? So, maybe the whole town is turning against you and everybody's trying to drive you out in every way possible. Then it might be, a good idea to check for traps where they're expecting you to go because, the whole town wants to kill you, but that would be being cautious, alright? But if it's not that, if there's no reason, but you really want to search for traps in that bar, then, well, if there are traps in that bar, and there really shouldn't be, that's not your fault, now is it? How could you, just walking into a normal bar, expect there to be a pitfall? That's something that, if it is there, should not get you killed, because, there's no way you could have preempted that, there's no way you could have known, unless you missed some very important information back down the road, which, it's kind of, yeah, you get what I'm saying. Anyway, let's see. Alright, like I said, main point, caution requires a reason. Without a reason, you're being paranoid. That being said, I'm going to give you another example. Alright, don't let your caution ruin a good solution. For example, you're supposed to cross a lake, right? It's just a slow-moving lake. but you know your DM throws curveballs at you every once in a while. There might be monsters in the lake. Okay, now find a way to test that. Don't say, oh, there might be monsters in the lake, so we can't cross it. That's bad. You want to test your caution theory. I mean, if you can. If you can't, and you know like testing it will get you killed, then well, you can't. But if you can, you know, test it, you know, pulling out a piece of meat and throwing it into the water. Did anything snap up on it? No. Okay, maybe it's a little bit safer. You know, dipping a toe in. You know, having, you know, the fighter ready to pull you out. Have, you know, tie a rope to you. Have your whole group be ready to pull you out, and the cleric ready to heal you. You know, test it first. If you can test it, test it. All right. Well, test it without getting killed. Right. So, you know, if you dip your foot in, nothing attacks you. Maybe it's just a lake, and you're just supposed to swim across it. All right. So, the main points to sum up is 1. Don't try to preempt the DM. Alright? That'll get you bogged down because you'll search for information which probably doesn't exist. The magic staff. Alright? It doesn't exist, guys. I'm just going to tell you that right now. Alright? Also, don't be too general. Give the DM a specific person you're talking to, a specific location you're looking into. Don't just say, I look for information, roll the dice, and get exasperated when the DM won't give you an answer because you're not really looking anywhere, are you? Alright? The last point, caution requires a reason. Alright? If you are super cautious, but there's no reason behind your caution, then you're just being paranoid and slowing down the game. Alright? So, probably getting close to a long time here. So, that's pretty much it, or that's what I can think of at the moment. If you guys have any suggestions for not bogging down the game or stuff to help, you know, the game progress more smoothly for players, feel free to comment. Video responses, normal comments, anything's great. Alright, this has been T Walker 13, aka Tanner. Everybody have a fun one.